Have a good day, student. Today we will discuss construction and working principle of DC generator, which is lecture 1 of electrical machine. Day by day we will get all the lectures of electrical machine. Okay. So myself Santanu Noskar, Assistant Professor of Electrical Department, GKCM GIS Group. This is my mail ID santanu.uyt@gmail.com and santanu.noskar_gkcm@gisgroup.org, and this is my Facebook page. You can like my Facebook page, which is Being Electrified with Santanu. So let's start. So the construction of DC generator. A DC generator is an electrical machine which converts mechanical energy into direct current electricity. This energy conversion is based on the principle of production of dynamically induced EMF. So this PPT is based on basic construction and working of DC generator. So this is a diagram of DC generator. This is the yuck. This is the yuck. Number 2 is commutator. This is the commutator. Number 3 is brass. These are the two brass. Number 4, armature. You all know what is armature. This is the armature. And number 5, armature winding. These are the armature winding. Number 6, field winding. This is the field winding. This is the pole and this is the field winding. Number 7, pole. This is pole. 1, 2, 3, 4. And number 8 is pole shoe. So this curve is called pole shoe. This is look like a shoe, so this is called pole shoe. Okay. So first is yuck. A DC generator can be used as a DC motor without any constructional change, and vice versa is also possible. Thus a DC generator or DC motor can be broadly termed as a DC machine. These basic construction details are also valid for the construction of DC motor. Let's call this point as construction of DC machine instead of construction of DC generator or DC motor. So first is yuck. So this above picture, this picture shows constructional details of a simple 4-pole DC machine. Okay, a DC machine consists of two basic parts, stator and rotor. Basic constructional part of DC machine are described now. So first is yuck. So here you can see the yuck. So this is the actual picture of yuck. The outer frame of a DC machine is called as yuck. It is made up of cast iron or steel. It is not only provides mechanical strength to the whole assembly but also carries the magnetic flux produced by the field winding. Okay, so the main works of yuck, it holds the magnetic pole cores of the generator and act as cover of the generator, and it carries the magnetic field flux. So this is the terminal box of yuck, this is the feet, and this is lifting eye. Then commutator and brushes. Commutator, it collects current from armature and send it to the load as direct current. brushes. The only function of the carbon brushes of DC generator is to collect current from commutator segment. So this is commutator and these are the two brushes. So physically connection to the armature winding is made through a common brush arrangement. The function of a commutator in a DC generator is to collect the current generated in armature conductor, whereas in case of a DC motor, commutator helps in providing current to the armature conductor. A commutator consists of a set of copper segments which are insulated from each other. The number of segments is equal to the number of armature coils. Each segment is connected to an armature coil and the commutator is keyed to the shaft. Brushes are usually made from carbon or graphite. They rest on commutator segment and slide on the segment when the commutator rotates, keeping the physically contact to collect or supply the current. Next is armature core and armature winding. Okay, so armature core is the rotor of a DC machine. It is cylindrical in shape with slots to carry armature winding. The armature is built up of thin laminated circular steel disc for reducing eddy current losses. It may be provided with air ducts for the axial airflow for cooling purpose. Armature is keyed to the shaft. Then the armature winding. These are the armature winding. You all know this. It is usually a former wound copper coil which rest in armature slots. The armature conductor are insulated from each other and also from the armature core. Armature winding can be wound by one of the two methods, lap winding or wave winding. In our next class, I will discuss about lap winding and wave winding. So, lap winding or wave winding. Double layer lap or wave winding are generally used. A double layer winding means that each armature slots will carry two different coils. Next, field winding. So, this is the field winding. Okay, this is a picture and this is a real picture. They are usually made of copper. Field coils are from a wound and placed on each pole and are connected in series. They are wound in such way that when energized, they form alternate north pole and south pole. Next is field pole and pole shoe. Poles are joined to the yack with the help of the bolts or welding. They carry field winding and pole shoes are fastened to them. Pole shoes serve two purposes. They support field coils and spread out the flux in air gap uniformly. Now we will discuss about the working principle of a DC generator. We can describe the working principle of DC generator by two laws. Number one is Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Number two is Fleming's right hand rule. Okay, so let's start. According to Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, whenever, please go through this peak. Okay, start. Whenever a conductor is placed in a varying magnetic field or a conductor is moved in a magnetic field, an EMF, which is called electromotive force, get induced in the conductor. The magnitude of induced EMF can be calculated from the EMF equation of DC generator. If the conductor is provided with closed path, the induced current will circulate within the path. In a DC generator, Field coil produce an electromagnetic field and the armature conductor are rotated into the field. Thus, an electromagnetically induced EMF is generated in the armature conductor and the direction of the induced current is given by the Fleming's right hand rule. You can see the picture. From this you can see the direction of the induced current. Okay, according to Fleming's right hand rule, the direction of induced current changes whenever the direction of motion of the conductor changes. Let's consider an armature rotating clockwise and a conductor at the left is moving upward. Go through this fig. When the armature completes a half rotation, the direction of the motion of that particular conductor will reverse to downwards. Hence, the direction of current in every armature conductor will be alternating. If you look at this figure, you will know how the direction of the induced current is alternating in an armature conductor. But with split ring, this is split ring commutator, connection of the armature conductor also get reversed when the current reversal occur, and therefore we get unidirectional current at the terminal. So by these two laws we can describe the working principle of DC generator. Okay, so this is my Facebook page, Being Electricity with Santanu, and this is my YouTube channel, Being Electricity. Please like my Facebook page and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you.